If you've never listened to Plant Talk Radio, our weekly gardening program hosted by Fred Hauer, you really should take a listen to the whole show. You can go to our website at planttalkradio.com and listen, or subscribe to the show on iTunes. Here's today's question.
Walter sent us another email, and he says that he bought some blueberry bushes, and he hasn't had a lot of success with them. It looks like he's lost 2 of the 4 that he bought, and he'd like to know a little bit about prepping the soil for that. He says he put them in some garden soil that he bought at the nursery.
Okay. First of all, Walter, think Michigan, think Kalamazoo, and think west of there. Acreage of blueberries. That is the plains area, so to speak, of Michigan. It's on the sandy side, and it is acidic. Very good drainage, and so on, so that you want to create the same kinds of things. Now, I'm going to read, well, let's just say, come back to Columbus, and north of Hoover Dam, where the soil is alkaline, nasty, just about the worst junk you can think of growing things in. And a friend of mine brought in a load of topsoil. He used peat moss to mix with that topsoil. He added sulfur for an acidifier to this, and it was all on top of the ground. He built the bed to approximately 18, 20, well, he might have even gone at 24 inches initially because he knew it was going to settle. He planted 5 blueberries in there, and I know they were bearing fruit for 30 years. So there might not be anything wrong with the soil you're using. It could be a little too wet, possibility.
Yeah, and again, as you mentioned, they like acidic.
They they have to have acid. That's just all there is to it. They're like a holly. They just do not do well without an acidic soil. It has to do with their internal chemistry. And I wish I could tell him how many pounds of sulfur to a cubic foot of soil, and I really cannot do that. But I know that when I started a bed that has blueberries in it, it was more or less a normal garden area. The container that the blueberries came in required 12 inches width of planting. I dug holes 36 inches wide. I entrained both aluminum sulfate and a little bit of that, and a good bit of sulfur into the soil that had been good garden soil with peat and with organic soil additives over time. And mine are doing quite well. Now they're not a raving success, but they're right here in the center of Columbus, which is totally alkaline soil, and doing fine. So think good drainage, think acidic soil, and you'll have to continue to use the acidifier each year. Best, I think, whatever quantity you're using of the sulfur, add half that amount in March, half at fruit-bearing time, which would be starting in late May. And I think he'll find a response in the blueberries. Now, he may have lost something because it didn't get off to the right start, may have to start again, which I have also done. But I know it can be done. I know it takes acid and good drainage and high organic matter, and then just think blueberry pie next year.
Sounds good to me.